bear with me, I'm just checking a couple of things. I've got myself totally disorganized this morning. I spent the morning mucking around with some paper shares and some new products and chatting to a friend, and yeah, basically forgetting that I was on a bit of a schedule for 10 o'clock live. But anyway, we're all here. I'm just going to check that my phone is where it should be and that my volume is good, as I do every morning. Can't actually check that, unfortunately, until you actually get on. So it's a little bit of a routine. Yep, okay, that looks cool. I'll pop my phone up here so I can watch your lovely comments and see who's jumping on, or to Facebook anyway. So, I can see a fair few jumping on already. That's great. So just pop a hi in the comments when you jump on. Tell me where you're watching for, although I know a lot of your lovely names already and where you're coming from, but it's great to see you. Anyway, before we get started today, anyone who watches my Facebook page has realised that I was tracking the truck with my pre-order on yesterday. Yes, and it finally arrived, but I didn't get a chance to go on and show you what arrived in that bundle, in that big box, due to the fact I had to head up the road to look after my dad while my mum went out and spent lots of money, which she does now and then. Anyway, that's another story completely. But I thought rather than just showing you everything that came in that parcel, I would just show you some of the celebration items that I received. So starting the 1st of June, with every $90 order you place online, you can choose one of these wonderful freebies. And I won't go into them too much. I'm just going to show you and then we can get some crafting done. So anyway, this is the celebration brochure. I have a supply of these coming. They haven't arrived yet. I'm hoping over the next few days. Anyway, so there's lots and lots of things there that you can choose, and I'll just show you some of them here. It's a bit scary that this isn't actually all the freebies I ordered with that parcel, and at $90 a pop you can probably tell what size the order was, but I'll let you do the math and I won't say it out loud just in case hubby hears me. Anyway, that's all right. He's cool with it. So anyway, as I say, can't show you the inside. If you've bought from me in the last 12 months, there will be a copy of this and a copy of the mini catalogue, the new July to December mini catalogue, on their way to you as soon as I get my supplies. I'm going to pop them all in the post. But anyway, here's the celebration part. One of the cutest little guys from the celebration are the hippiest hippos, not happiest, hippiest hippos. These guys are just so cute. So for a $90 order, you can get the stamp set. For a separate $90 order, or $180 together, you can get the dies. So they're a $90 order each, which is really good because if you just want the stamp set, you can just get your $90 order and get that. But as I say, if you up it to $180 or put in a separate $90 order, you can get the cute dies as well, which cut out these little guys. And I think there's a few extra accessories for them there as well, like scuba goggles and things like that. So it's really, really cute. So I'm looking forward to getting into those little hippest hippos. A friend of mine has already said she got these and she said they were wonderful. If Jen's on, I think it was you, Jen, that said she'd already got her little envelopes. It's pool party and soft sea foam cards and envelopes. And the pack has 40 pieces, which means there's 20 cards and 20 envelopes. So you can see there, that's obviously the soft sea foam envelope there with some beautiful white design there. So yes, I'm looking forward to grabbing those out as well. And of course that you can actually make them a little bit more. You can add to them by, let's open them. I know I said I wasn't going to spend a lot of time on this, but I haven't even opened them yet. So let's have a bo peep. Just to see, because I can see lots of soft sea foam, but I can't see any pool party. So there's the envelopes. It looks like the envelopes are all soft sea foam with some pool party sort of elements on the inside there. So that's quite nice. And these are the cards. It looks like there's a few different sorts of there. So it looks like they've got these sorts of lovely colours. I don't know if you can pick that up on the sort of the leafy sort of design. on a few of them. Yeah, more the same. And then, oh yeah, in the pool party, the same sort of design, but in the pool party. Okay, so they're cute. Looking forward to using those. Probably, I reckon customers might get those as a thank you in the next little while. Okay, this one here is a 6x6 paper. I think there are 24 pieces. It's the specialty silver and gold specialty paper. So we all need a little bit of bling in our paper. So this is a $90 purchase as well, as was the cards and envelopes that I just showed you. Looks like it's one-sided only, so you don't have to make that hard call as to what side you're going to use. Gold dots, silver stripes, and yep, so it looks like it's gold stripes, silver stripes, gold dots, and silver dots. Awesome. Looking forward to using those as well. And this one I'm really looking forward to getting into. This was a little bit more, this is like the top of the range freebie. This is you get the paper and the stamp set together as for a $180 or $180. This is Australian, of course, $180 purchase. So the stamp set looks really nice. Looks like it's got a bit of light and dark in the stamps itself, so I'll give that a go soon. But I mean, I just look at that first page of paper and I'm totally in love straight away. So yeah, so this one could be one of those ones where I order multiple packs and end up giving away the stamp set and keeping the paper, which it wouldn't be the first time I've done that. So let's look at the rest. Cute. Now that's reminiscent of a stamp set we had ages ago. I can't remember what it's called now. Very cute. Love those colours. Oh, look at that, to die for. Yes, this is definitely going to be one of the ones that I get lots of them and then give away the stamp set. Nice. Look at the colours. They're just so pretty. Oh, so there's some fussy cutting possibilities there. That could be a class in the future, that one. And the last one was that one. I think that's still my favourite. Okay, yep, so that's, I think that's what came. Oh, there was one other thing, another piece of paper that came in my order. So it was actually another one that I actually got. Yeah, and but I've already given that, popped that in between. It was a free paper for my latest paper share, so I've already cut that up to pop it into the paper shares. Okay, so as I say, that's the celebration freebies I have so far. Somebody's just mentioned my lighting might be off. It is really dark here, and I'm just relying on natural light. So it could be that it's just dark and my camera is trying to compensate. But anyway, look, when you've got your catalogue, you'll be able to see the real colours in there. So, but trust me, they're cute. If you trust me, you trust that those colours are cute. So yes, it could be we've had rain all night and the sun is trying to come out, but it is struggling today. We've had a pretty abysmal winter so far, which is what you'd expect. Okay, one more piece of advertising, and I promise that'll be it before we start, is my June product class. These are the 3 cards from my product class. So how I run my product classes is a full kit is kits to make 2 each of these 3 cards. So you get kits to make 6 cards altogether. And in this case, that one goes that way. In this case, you will need either the stamp set, which is what I've used to create these 2 cards on the either end, or access, and that one's totally upside down, or access to the designer series paper, where you can cut out the various flowers, like with your either with your scissors or your scan and cut, if you're lucky enough to have one of those beauties. So yes, so that's my class for this time. So there is a post about that on my Facebook page if you'd like to pop over and see the 3 cards. And I will go, if you do, get your words out, Julianne. If you didn't want to go the way of the stamps and dies, I've actually got a special if you want to buy a packet of the designer series paper from me as part of the class. You can create all 3 cards, or all 6 cards, with a packet of paper and a pair of scissors. You'd be perfectly fine. But as I say, the dies and the stamp set, you've seen me use it a lot. They're one of my favourites out of the catalogue, the annual catalogue. which is why I've decided to craft with it today. And what I'm going to do is show you one of the designs or one of the projects out of the Global Creative Project tutorial bundle. Now, a few months ago, I was fortunate enough to get chosen to join this little team. It's got demonstrators from Canada, UK, US, and Australia. And each month we choose a bundle and we create a card each. And we create a card and then we pop all the information to make that card into a PDF document. We all record a video and include a link in that PDF document as well. And yeah, we release it to our customers. So to get hold of this bundle, normally you can place a $150 Australian order with me and you'll get it for free. So there's 12 projects from 12 different demonstrators, or you can buy it outright for $22 per month. So that's how you get hold of this. But I wanted to show you today one of the projects out of that, and I have to acknowledge Ange McKay. She lives in Canada, so I thought I'd show you a overseas demonstrator, so I wasn't stepping on any Australian toes. Yes, so this is her project from this month's tutorial bundle. So Ange, if you ever happen to be passing by my Facebook page, thank you for your contribution this month. But anyway, so as I say, $150 Australian order from me, you get the whole 12 projects for free, just the PDF, not the actual cardstock or anything, or you can buy it outright for $22. So what I was going to show you, I'm going to make Ange's project here exactly as it's shown, or close to, and then I'm going to try and make it with a different stamp set and dies, just to show you that once the month is over, you can keep using the bundle for inspiration for any different sort of stamp sets and things that you happen to have around. So there we go. So I'm going to make this one first. And as you can see, we're actually just fussy cutting the flowers from the designer series paper here. So that's what we're going to do. So what you get with the bundle, and I'll just flip through, I've just printed off the pages for Ange's particular stamp project here. Big picture at the front so you can see what it is you're doing. And as I say, there's 12 of them in the bundle altogether. You then get a complete list of all the supplies you're going to need to make that particular card. And then on this page, you get your another picture of the detail. Plus you get all your, and you probably can't see that, all your measurements. Okay, so they're there. So white cardstock, how big your card base is, where to score, all those sorts of things there. And then on the last page for every project, you then get full instructions. So full written instructions as to how to make the card, and then the link to the exclusive YouTube video is at the bottom. So obviously if you keep this as a electronic copy, you can just click on that link and it takes you to Ange's YouTube channel where she shows you how to physically shows you how to make the card if you want to do that instead of or in conjunction with the instructions. Obviously, if you're just printing them off like this, you can't. I said to somebody the other day, you just press the link, and we were trying to work out how to press the link on the paper. Obviously, it's we were having a bad day. Obviously, you can copy that link physically into your browser and get to YouTube. Okay, so that's the card we're going to do. Thankfully, I have cut everything out already. Well, not thankfully, but I have. In line with Ange's instructions. I've had to make a couple of changes because I don't have the dies that she used to physically cut that piece of vellum. So I've just basically followed Ange's instructions. I've got all the pieces of cardstock and I've already, excuse me, I've already fussy cut my flowers. So this is just a quick put together of the card as per Ange's written instructions. And what I'm going to do, the next one I do, I'm going to make it from scratch. So it's going to take a bit longer, and it could be I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm sure it'll be beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to pop the designer. This is the Hues of Happiness designer series paper, and I've just taken, breaks my heart, excuse me. I'm going to cover over those beautiful flowers. But anyway, that's okay. I've just bought 3 more packets of this paper, so I've got plenty of it lying around. And it's just going to go straight on the front of the card base. So as I say, Angie's instructions are in the PDF to grab them. Okay, so then we're going to follow up with our rectangle of vellum. So this is just A4 vellum, cut to a sort of, it's probably about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch smaller than the designer series paper. And I'm going to add that as well. But I'm going to add glue to the top sort of 2/3 half of the designer series paper. And I've forgotten something. Isn't that terrible? I'm going to wipe that off because I need to pop it through. That's the reason I got the dies out. And it's a good thing it's vellum and it'll rub off. But I'm going to pop that through the to follow Angie's instructions. See, that's terrible. I can't follow instructions. No, not that one. I'm going to grab the happiness dies and pop it through to make those really cute little holes in it. And have I got the happiness dies out? Obviously, I was totally disorganized. Just bear with me. I'm going to grab the dies. Thought I had them out. Oh dear. Obviously spent far too much time this morning chatting and mucking around. Okay, so we're going to pop this die. So this one here, it makes our lovely pattern. We can just pop that over the bottom half of the designer series paper, just like that. I wonder if it'll fit through my mini. It probably won't. I'll bring my big one over. I reckon it'll fit through there. Eek. Move everything away. Okay, so that's gone through. Okay, so I'll just get some of those little bits out. Okay, so we've added that really cute little series of holes and things to our vellum, and when we put it up against the paper, you'll see that it sort of lets the lovely dark blue come through. So we'll try again, Julianne. So we'll add our glue back to the top part, and know that this is going to curl, so I'm going to bring in some glue dots in a minute, just on the bottom bit, just to hold it flat. I'm not too worried about putting glue at the top because with all our beautiful flowers, we're going to cover it over anyway, so that doesn't matter too much. Because you can, I think I've probably mentioned it on previous cards, that you can, with vellum, you can see the adhesive through, which you can see there. You can see the streaks of the glue. So if I bring in just a couple of little glue dots, just to stop that from curling up, you won't really see them too much. They're just little specks. If I can find my glue dots, there they are. There we might put one in the middle there too because it's sort of curling up. There we are. Okay, I'll pop those aside. And get rid of that as well. There we go. Now we've got, according to Ange's instructions, we've got a strip of white cardstock, and it's going to go across there like that, and we're going to pop our sentiment on there, so towards the right hand end. And I'm going to use Night of Navy ink, I believe. I can find it. Let's check. I'll check the instructions, Julianne. Ink, Night of Navy, yes. Where's my Night of Navy? There it is. And grab a block and a stamp set. We're just going to do this as a happy birthday, just the same as Ange. Here we are. And I'll pop that on next. And that will actually hold that vellum down a wee bit as well, which is a very good thing. So I'm going to pop that down there. So I'll put glue. On there. And pop that across. Okay, so we're getting there slowly with our card, or not slowly, it's pretty fast. Okay, so now we've got all our beautiful die cut flowers. We'll bring those in. So I've cut exactly the same ones that Ange has put in her instructions, so we'll pop them exactly the same way. So this one goes first. I'm just going to glue that over here. And then this one here, so this is a pool party, so it ties all these colours together beautifully. Pops over here. And then this lovely sort of almost Bermuda Bay one pops in front, just covers over that gap a wee bit. Okay, and this blue one tucks in behind. I think it's pretty close. I think it's pretty similar. We'll bring it in when I've finished. Oh, and there's one more, one little light blue one, little pool party one. It sits up over this side. I think actually everything of mine's a little bit lower than Ange's. I've moved it down a bit. Probably have to, if I wanted it exact, I'd probably have to be a bit more exact with her instructions, but I'm happy. Okay, so we've got some leaves that we've cut out as well. And over here. And the last one down here. Okay, how cute is that? That's really lovely. Now the thing is, I can actually see the glue through there, but that's okay. Okay, so there we have it. That's our completed design. Now Ange has used pearls on hers, but I'm going to use iridescent rhinestones. Pearls look lovely, but I was running out of them, so I need to order more. So I'm just going to pop some iridescent rhinestones. And what I'm going to do is actually pop them, because they're going to be on this bottom part, the bit that's got the holes in it. I'm just going to actually pop them over the hole so they actually stick the vellum down a bit better. That's just my addition, not Ange's. And more. There we are. Okay, and that's done. So there we are. That's Ange Mackay's version of a Hues of Happiness card using the, got something on my finger, using the Hues of Happiness paper and stamp set and dies with a bit of vellum thrown in for good measure. There we go. So that's that one. So that's the version that's exactly as per the instructions. We'll bring Ange's in as well. And as I say, I think I've taken everything down a wee peg, but yeah, so pretty darn close, really. Oh, no, I'm missing something. Julianne. And you wouldn't think it's important, but it actually looks slightly out of place without it, and I've lost it. She's got a wee little bit of Knight of Navy cardstock down the bottom, and I had it cut. Where is it gone? Because that was the thing that was sticking to my finger before. Has it fallen on the floor? Oh gosh. Have you fallen on the floor? No. Has it stuck to anything? No, I'm going to have to cut it again. It's a good thing I have the instructions right here. I need a piece of Knight of Navy cardstock, 1/4 of an inch by 2 3/4. 1/4 of an inch by 2 3/4. So let's see if I've got a scrap of Knight of Navy. There we go. And I want 1/4 of an inch by 2 3/4. You know I'm going to find that little piece as soon as I walk away. 1/4 of an inch by 2 3/4. It's such a small piece of cardstock, but I think the fact that I haven't got it on there makes a real difference. I'm going to have to move that. Move that a wee bit. I might keep it off completely. Just grab a little bit of glue. And pop that there. And where's that? I'll pop that back on. Actually, I might pop it for just my version. I'm going to pop my little bling up there just because I'd moved everything down a bit. And I might pop this little one up there as well. So that's the Julianne spin. I'll pop this one up there, which is obviously what you can do. There you go. So there we are, finally finished, even if I had to recut that little piece of cardstock. And there we are. So with all the instructions and everything all worked out for you, that was pretty easy. Okay, so we'll make it. I'll just sit down again after searching frantically everywhere for that little piece of cardstock. Okay, so let's make a version of this using this as sort of like a sketch, and we'll see what we can do using a different stamp set. And the reason, what I've done, I haven't cut anything yet because I was going to do this completely ad lib. So hang in with me if it goes a bit haywire, but I think I know because following that as a sketch, I'm hoping that I can't go wrong. So what I'm going to use is the Artistically inked bundle. So this one's been in the catalogues for quite some time. So I'm sure lots of you have it or have access to it or have seen it being used. So it's got some really artistic, sort of almost contemporary, what's the word I'm looking for? Abstract art sort of on it with splodges and things that look like flowers and buds and leaves. So they look pretty much like leaves, and the die set as well. And the reason I decided to use this one, because I was cleaning out my designer series paper the other day and I realised that I had 2 packs of the expressions in ink, which is the paper that goes with this particular bundle, or did back in the day, and I thought, oh well, I'll use this to make a version of the card, sort of ad lib. Let's see how we go. So I thought I would use this one with the really lovely pink and gold. So it's got gold. I don't know if you can see there. It's got some gold foil. So what I'm going to do is substitute that little strip of blue. I'm going to actually substitute it for a strip of gold. That at least I know what I'm going to do. So let's get this happening. Okay, so this is going to be my piece of the paper I'm going to use. I'm going to grab I haven't even got the card cut. You're going to watch me do everything from scratch here, guys. Hang in with me. Hope you've got a drink or a coffee or something. Okay, so I'm going to cut my card base. I have to take my measurements from here. So 5.5. I'm going to score it at 4 1/8. Angie's measurements were slightly different because she's using, I think she was using like the American paper sizes, which are slightly different to ours, I've just realised. So whereas our paper is 8 1/4 by 11 3/4, the Americans is 8 1/2 by 11. I found out recently. Everyone's probably going to go, oh, Julianne, have you been living under a rock that you didn't know that? Well, yes, probably. I didn't realise. Okay, so we've got our card base there. We'll grab some of the designer series paper. So I'll get I don't know why I've put my trimmer away. We're going to need that. So the designer series paper, and I'm going to have to measure it, is 3 7/8 must be by 5 1/4. Yep. So we'll pop that aside as well. There's my card base. So there's where we're going with that. So that's going to be the start there. Now I need a piece of vellum. Now I'm not going to use A4 vellum. I'm going to try and find, and yet again, Julianne should have been a little bit more organised, or I might have to use vellum. I was going to use the layered vellum from the new catalogue, which would mean I wouldn't have to cut it down as much. Oh, here it is. I got it. So this is the layered, lovely layers vellum pack, and you get 60 sheets of vellum in this little pack. So this is in the current catalogue. It's a brand new product. You get some of them that are printed with little leaves and things. I don't know. That looks really good. I'm thinking actually maybe this one with the dots on it might be the way to go. What else have we got? A big circle or a dot. Let's have a look. So if I trim that down, it looks like it's the same on either side. If I trim that down, there's two there. That's why I couldn't see through very well. If I trim that down, she says, repeating herself, we can see the dots at the bottom. That might be quite nice because I'm not going to use the die set this time. Okay, so I'm going to use the dotty pattern from the layered vellum or vellum layers, and I'm going to cut it down. I'll grab my card as well and measure. I cut down to 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, so that's the size of our vellum, so that's going to go to the next layer. Yeah, I like that. We're going to see a little bit of a pattern rather than having the die cuts this time. Then I need a piece of white, and I've always got scraps of white all over the place, except for today. Check the floor. I think I've got some in my scrap box. Oh, I want to show you my scrap box. This, I'm ashamed to say, is my scrap box. You can't even get it in the camera. It's so huge. Whenever I have a scrap that's worth keeping, I just pop it in my scrap box. And I go through it before I start a new sheet. I go through it, and you can't even see how big that is. That's like, it's heavy. It's getting really heavy now. I do have some folders that every now and then I grab the scraps and pop them in proper colour order in a folder, but obviously I haven't done that for a while. They're just sitting in a box. So our piece of white cardstock is the same width as our designer series paper and 1/2 inch wide. Okay, so it must be, so I'll do the 1/2 inch first. And then, so that was that long. Okay, so we've got that piece of paper there. And gold, I was actually going to, as I mentioned, I was going to do the little tiny strip as gold, just to bring off that gold from the designer series paper. Now I've got to find a little bit of gold. Silver everywhere. I do have to organise my scrap box. I need a wee while just to go on holidays or something. Maybe I need to retire. That was a good idea before, but it doesn't seem to have freed me up. Gold, 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 gold. Don't want to start a whole new piece for this. Gold, 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 gold. But it looks like I'm going to have to. I knew I had some bronze here, but that's not quite right. Or copper, I think it was. No, I'm going to have to get my gold foil. Forgive me, I know you're just spending a whole lot of time looking at a screen with nothing on it at the moment. But I really am doing this one, what's the word, on the fly. Okay, so here's some gold. So what was it, 1/4 inch by 2 3/4, I think. And that's our little bit of gold. Oh, this is turning out nice. I like this. I think this is going to be nice. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. We'll bring in the stamp set. Everything's gone a bit skew-whiff. So here's our stamp set, and here's another scrap of white. So the colours in this are polished pink and pale papaya. So they're the two colours that I'm going to use to stamp our, that's my pale papaya. Polished pink, polished pink, polished pink. Where's my polished pink? Polished pink, here we go. So these are the colours I'm going to use for our flowers. And the leaves, I think I will use granny apple green. Yeah, nice and bright. Okay, so I need a sentiment that I can fit to our to our little strip here, and will happy birthday fit? Yep. So this is the happy birthday from the Artistically inked die. I'm going to lose that if I'm not careful, so I'll get another block. Oh no, here it is. Pop that in there. Okay, so this happy birthday fits, so we'll use it. And so to go with the colours this time, I should probably do it in polished pink, I think, which is a nice bright pink, so it should be fine. So I'm going to grab our little strip. Yep. Pop our happy birthday on there. As with the other one, more towards the right hand edge than the centre. That's the one. Okay, so now we're going to do some flowers. So in the original card, we did a couple of big flowers, which is a really good thing why I chose this one, because it's got this lovely big flower. So I'll do one in polished pink and one in pale papaya. So I'll just move this out of the way so I don't have a disaster. So polished pink. There we are. And one in pale papaya. And then what we had, three little ones. So we had a little one in the same colour as each of the big ones. So we'll do a little one in polished pink and a little one in pale papaya. Then we had like a third colour. What can I use for that third colour? Let's have a think. Third colour that's like them but not quite like them. Does that make sense? If you guys could write or type what you think that third colour should be. So with this one we had Night of Navy twice, and we had pale Pool Party twice, and then we had our Bermuda Bay one, which is similar but darker. So this third one may have to be something like what do we think? Calypso Coral? Yeah, I think maybe Calypso Coral, which would be darker than pale papaya, but still similar. Let's have a look. I'll give you guys a chance to come up with some ideas, and I'll do some leaves in our Granny Apple Green. And I do love my leaves. Leaves are the best. Matter of finding some spots to do them. So 3 lots of leaves, just like we did with the first card. So has anyone got any ideas for colours? Are we thinking Calypso Coral? I'm thinking Calypso Coral, being a darker version of pale papaya. Let's get rid of the big one. We don't need that anymore. Calypso Coral, Calypso Coral, Calypso Coral. Pumpkin pie. Cajun craze. Do I have a Calypso Coral? Of course I have Calypso Coral. Of course I do. I just can't see it. What's that? Calypso Coral. Here we go. So see, that's a darker version of the pale papaya, as the Bermuda Bay was sort of a darker version of the Pool Party. So Deb reckons Calypso Coral, and Vicky's given me the thumbs up, so life is good. Is that a bit too dark? Should I? Oh, that's all right. I'm overthinking it now. Tell me, Julianne, you're overthinking it. I'm now thinking I should have stamped that off once, but anyway, that's okay. We'll see how we go. I'm going to be here forever the way I'm going here. It's supposed to be a quick, easy card and show you how easy it is, but making a meal of it. Okay, so we're going to now die cut these. I'm actually going to just fussy cut the leaves because they are a nice even shape, and that just gets me one less fussy die cutting to do. Thank you, Vicky. Yes, overthinking it. Overthinking is my middle name. Or overdoing it. I'm either overthinking it or overdoing it. One of the two. There's one leaf. Probably die cut, fussy cut those little flowers as well, I think. They're pretty even in their shapes. And then I just die cut the big ones. Okay. Hey, Judy Jones, yes, from beautiful Bendigo. Is Bendigo beautiful today, Judy? I mean, I know it's beautiful. I've been in Bendigo a few times. It was beautiful, but is it beautiful weather-wise? Okay, probably would have been quicker to do these by die cuts, but I sort of didn't want to leave you alone while I whipped out the machine. Anyhow. As I say, we've had weather that I've been a Hobart girl all my life, except for 10 years where we lived overseas and interstate. And it's been consistently the coldest that I've ever experienced the last week, maybe 2 weeks. And when I say consistently, I mean sub 10 degrees Celsius for days and days. And I suppose if you're watching me from Canada or parts of the US, that's probably not that unusual, but that is unusual for Tassie or Australia as a whole. I think Canberra's copped it pretty cold as well. Yeah, it's just, consistently. I mean, we would probably string together a couple of sub 10 days here, and then everyone would talk about it for decades to come as the cold snap of 2022 or whatever. But to get 2 weeks of it, people will definitely be talking about it as the cold snap of 2022. Tasmanians love to talk about the weather. Australians love to talk about the weather. I think it's a national pastime. Tasmanians especially, because it proves how tough we are. Lol. Anyway, all good. There was just a bit of a fill-in why I live where I live while I was cutting those out. But I will get the die for this big one because it's a little bit flowerier, a little bit more involved than the others. Pop that there, try and line it up so I get it vaguely right. Let's see what it's got. Anything that tells me, anything that's shape-wise. Goes to show how long it's been since I've used this die. There we go. You know, I think I'm going to like this version of the card more than the original version. Just saying. So one of those. It's going to be definitely bright, that's for sure. And where's that little dippy bit again there? Always find with the dies that you use, you find sort of familiar landmarks that help you line it up with where it should be on the die. I know there's one, the sunflower one, I think we've mentioned it before, there's this big sunflower one that you've got to line up. And I always look for parts of it that look like the Sydney Opera House, sort of with a curvy sort of roof. That always helps me line it up. Okay, so that's the big one. So I'll pop this little guy away. Okay, so here we have our definitely bright flowers. So we've got 2 big ones, 3 little ones. So we're going to pop those around, and then our leaves. Okay, we'll bring the card back. Getting a bit excited now. Okay, so let's pop this together. Is Jan on? I don't think I've seen Jan Casey on. Are you on, Jan? My stuff arrived yesterday. The party stuff, the tri-pillow protector, pillow protector that I bought arrived yesterday. So there you go. Just so you know, I should have messaged you. Okay, so we're going to pop this one next. So I really wasn't happy with the way it went with the original card. So I'm going to just put glue on the center part. And because I'm not die cutting it, it should be okay. It should sit flat. Problem with the first one was that I added glue and then I die cut it and it sort of distorted it badly. So with this one, we shouldn't have the same trouble because I'm just popping glue just in the middle. Okay, so we might put some glue dots in if they start to curl up, but at the moment we're okay. Okay, so then we've got our happy birthday, which is going to go across the middle. I'm going to take it up a bit further this time because as last time I took everything a little bit low. You've seen me crafting in all my glory today, with mistakes and all. Although somebody said to me recently that they like my mistakes. So, you know, I'm just doing it for you guys. Just make the mistakes for you. So Anne is telling me that it's cold here in Ranfurly. Is that how you say it? Ranfurly, Anne, in New Zealand. I love New Zealand. I've been to New Zealand 8 times since 2011. It is our holiday destination of choice. We took the kids when they were young. We took them. Sammy was my youngest was there for his 12th birthday. We were in Paihia for his 12th birthday. Absolutely had the best time ever. But we've been back 8 times since. And well, not with the boys the last few times because they're too old now. But yeah, absolutely adore it. But I don't think I've ever been to Ranfurly. Is that South Island, is it, Anne? Sounds like it if it's 3 degrees. Might be at the top of a mountain somewhere. Okay, so we've got these flowers are a fair bit bigger than the flowers from our original card. In fact, I probably should bring that down. Have I got time to get that off? No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. So we're going to have to bring those in there. We'll bring our Cajun crab, is it? Calypso coral one in the front. We'll tuck our 2 little babies, so one up under there and one up under here. And then our leaves in and around as well. Okay, so let's get that on. Okay. So first big flower in there. Central Otago. Okay, cool. Down, is that south of or around the Christchurch area? And then this one. pop that one on some dimensionals just to give it a bit of height. So again, we've got a julienne or a slight variation. And all I can find is little ones. There we go. So I'm going to pop that one on the front. And we'll bring these ones in. So we're going to have, I'm going to have this one there. This one there. I'm trying to keep everything roughly where it is on the other one, but because they're very different dyes when you actually look at them. They're very different dyes, but I think it's working. And we'll bring our last leaf down here. There we go. Definitely very bright and very pink. That's cool. I'm going to use my iridescent gems again. Where's my gold strip? Nearly forgot it again. So here's our gold strip, and that's going to really lift it, I should think. So I'm going to bring that in straight underneath the sentiment box, just to bring the card, lower the card down a wee bit, because it's all a bit high. Somebody said to me once, how do you get all your cards to work? And there you go, you've seen it today. Often it's the second or third attempt that you're really happy with. And I think I'd have to do both of these again to be actually happy, totally happy with what I've done. So there we are. So I might do those. Actually, what I think I'm going to use for bling is I'm going to bring in the champagne rhinestones, I think. I think they would look really good because they've got a slightly pink tinge to them. Is it the wrong sort of pink though? No, I think that works. Let's do that. So instead of our iridescent gems, we're going to use our champagne rhinestones. And next size up. Come back here, you. There we are. I might actually pop some glue dots in under that vellum just at either corner just to stop it from lifting up. But there we are. So that's my, yes, the gold really does lift it, doesn't it, Kay? That is my version using the artistically inked stamp set. As I say, probably would redo this one, whereas I would probably take this one up a wee bit. I'd bring this one down a wee bit if I was doing it again, but I think that's really, really nice. So as I said, it's really good. You buy the bundle, you can make the cards as they are. You can follow the instructions and get the measurements, or you can mix it up a bit and use it with whatever stamp set or bundle or, you know, whatever you've got. You can use them as a sketch and you know, and make it your own completely. But anyway, it's full of ideas, it's full of inspiration. 12 cards per month you get to play with. They will be centered around a particular bundle, and I think next month is actually the He's the Man bundle, which is would be wonderful for Father's Day if you wanted to go with that. So the He's the Man will be the 12 projects you get next month, but this one is the Hues Happiness Abounds bundle, which is really, really nice. It's one of my favourites. So here we go. We've made 2 of those. Using that as inspiration, and hopefully if you would like to reach out and purchase that this month, as I say, $22 to purchase it outright, but if you place an order for $150 with me, you can get it for free. So there we go. So thanks for sticking with me today. That was a long one. That's an hour, and I've had lots of lovely people on, so I'll get on and answer all the comments once I'm finished. But as I say, again, reach out if you'd like to buy that tutorial bundle for this month. It's great to see you all. Celebration coming, card class that we saw early on. I showed you that one. If you hadn't seen it, pop back to the beginning of the video and you'll see my product class. And yeah, have a great weekend, and I will see you all during the week.